Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. A few weeks ago, we were celebrating the career of this man, and unfortunately today we're celebrating the life of Prodigy. And I wanted to bring the man, none other than DJ Premier, on the show to talk about things, and we appreciate you stopping by and giving us some time.
That's what's up. How you doing, man? Everything good?
Everything's good, man. I know you just got off tour, and obviously everyone knows yesterday was the funeral. You were probably at NPR, if I recall.
Yeah, I was at NPR. Actually, his wife sent me the invite to come early, and because I knew I couldn't make the 2 to 5 with the public, and I didn't know it was 2 separate visitations. The viewing, obviously the visitation with the fans, they had already removed Prodigy's body from the funeral home, but the private one, the entertainers got to see him. So I really wanted to go to that, so I was trying to find a way to either catch a flight and make it there early and still be on time. But every flight that was available was going to definitely make me almost an hour and a half late. And, I was already committed. And even though they have to understand that, I wanted to see Prodigy and get one last look at him, at the same time, we got mad memories. We've hung around, hung with each other. We've been in drama together. We've been through a lot together. So the memories is fine. He's gone from the sickle cell and all of that, but it's still sad that he's left his family and his wife and his kids and all of us. But you got to still carry on and push, and that's where true love comes in, because if love is really there, everybody still holds up the family in some type of way.
And speaking of memories, man, look, you guys, you worked with them when they were teens.
Yeah.
Now what, 93 was it?
Yeah.
You did Peer Pressure and Cop Hill.
Yep, we go back to that.
When you worked with them, did you recognize the talent? Did you have any idea that Prodigy and Havoc would become one of the greatest groups of all time?
Yeah, because I like their verses on Peer Pressure. When Large Professor played me the original, and actually on the album of Juvenile Hell, it says that Large Professor is the remix, but his is really the original. I just mimicked the rhyme pattern the beat to go with the rhyme pattern that they laid to his beat. So mine on the album just says Peer Pressure with no, remix written to it, but it should be the other way around. But it's all good. But long story short, what they were talking about at that age and the stuff they were mentioning, like even when they were talking about, what type of gear they wear, they were like, was strictly polo and Guess. And at that time, Guess jeans or Guess anything was popular in the 90s era. So some young kids like that pretty much rapping about stuff and we're older, rapping about the same thing. You already could tell that their lyrical wordplay was going to keep growing, and then even hit it from the back, even though that's about having sex with a girl and doing it doggy or smacking it from behind. It still was done in a skillful way lyrically, where Havoc not only showed that he makes beats, he also showed that he's lyrical. We always know Prodigy's a lot deeper on the lyrical content than Hav, and we look at Hav more as the producer and MC. Still, them together is a powerhouse that's unmatched, just like Gangstar, just like EPMD, just like any other duo, from Showbiz and AG, all the way to Black Sheep with Drez and Mr. Long,
When they were young, they were a wild crew, though, and I know there's probably a few stories. I was talking to Bones Malone the other day. He was talking about Jack the Rapper convention, and I think there was probably a little hiccup, a dust-up between South Central Cartel.
Yep.
And I think you were there. Was it the group
I'm
home?
the one that broke it up.
So you broke it up.
Yeah, I broke it up.
You've been mentoring cats for a while now.
Yeah.
What was that like? These cats were pretty crazy.
Well, it was just seeing Prodigy and Havoc walking through the whole, back then, I would say like this: if I was at a convention now or South by Southwest, I'm pretty much there to handle my business and do my showcase and keep it moving, just because I'm at a different status of the game. Even though I'll still go to some of the functions, but not at where I got to just be all over the place. But back then, we all wanted to be seen. We wanted to be at everything. We wanted everybody to look at us. We wanted every girl to want to sleep with us and hang with us in our hotel room. And, you know, being a gangster was already well established. You know, Masterfield had just come out then. The Outback dropped it, but we were dropping the single. And seeing Prodigy and Havoc walking around with no shirts on, with bottles of Hennessy in their hand, with the glass, and they were so little, walking around and just going up to every girl, going, "Yo, what's up, baby? How you doing?" And with no fear. It was just like, wow, these little kids are confident, man.
He had his mom's dance studio to practice for a while.
Hey, you know what? That's what helped, and that made him even more fly. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched him really mac a whole bunch of women like it was nothing, and then, you know, and then like I said, when they got into the whole scuffle, you know, South of the Cartel, it's a big guy, like they're really tall and you know, and kind of well built, so they look like they could tear the club up, you know, individually and throw P and Av around, but P and Av stood up to them, and no one was backing down to anybody. It was everybody standing up to each other. It was you know, 4 men against each other. Like, yo, you know, we ain't gonna be disrespected. And I just stepped in and was like, yo, neither one of y'all's names of your groups is Prodigy and Havoc. You know, your stage name is South Central Cartel, and y'all stage name is Mobb Deep. So I said, you don't see Dr. Dre beefing from NWA beefing with Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps, and that was the truth, you know. So, and then on top of that, I didn't want to see them having to beef over names, you know. Like, it'd be different, and plus no one had ever said, you know, F your name or anything like that. So that was never even said from either side. So that's why I was like, you know what, let me be the bigger man and show the logic to, you know, I'm sure there's a Primo. Like, most people don't even call me Premier. Most people call me Primo. There's a lot of Preems. There's a lot of Primos. So what? You know, it's all good. You know, I'm Primo, and if there's 5 other ones, we're all different in some type of way. But at least they were able to squash it. They ended up hanging out. They ended up being cool with each other. And we went to the bar together and, you know, had some more energy.
Hey, you can always fall back on that bouncing credibility. So you're the bouncer and a DJ. So you keep the love and trust between the crowd.
Yeah.
And you keep the party rocking.
I wouldn't want to bounce a job. That's a hectic task, especially when stuff goes away. You know, when stuff jumps off. I wouldn't want that to have their occupation. And shout out to all bouncers everywhere that have to put up with all the knuckleheads and clubs, man.
Club is closed, folks. Sorry.
Not tonight. You're not on the list.
They deserve big checks.
Damn, so what you're saying is you're really the voice of reason. You probably could have squashed that whole East Coast, West Coast beef back then.
Well, it was really never one to begin with, because, I mean, you gotta remember, we were around both sides during that time. I'm very close friends with MC8, whose album is officially out. Which Way is West, executive produced by me and 8, and Dub C and Ice Cube have been friends of mine since 88, 89. You know, Aladdin, you know, Ice-T. We've been cool from way back. And, you know, so when the East-West thing started to pop off, it was mainly outsiders. It wasn't the artists, really. I mean, there was some cockiness going around with everybody saying, you know, we repping it this way, we repping it that way, and throwing it up even a little bit harder. But overall, it wasn't ever beef, you know, on the level of the artist. You know, it was always either the people around them or the fans that were just that stupid and ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Because I was still traveling to both sides, and I wasn't tested or played by anyone, you know what I'm saying? I had love for Suge Knight, and we were cool. We worked out together at his studio, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was cool with Snoop and Daz and Corrupt, and just, you know, Dre and everybody. Me and Dre go way back. Me and Eazy-E go way back. So, you know, everything was love. You know, when the beef was going on with the so-called Big and Pac stuff, I saw Snoop in New York, you know, and no one was giving him a problem, you know, so.
Yeah, I think, well, even Prodigy said, you know, look, he grew up and he realized that he made a lot of mistakes bowing up to everyone through the years. But I think the videos probably were the worst, because those images just stayed in your head and almost like fed you to, like, you know, attack them and shit, you know? It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, no question. Well, I mean, again, it was, like I said, a little bit of stronger posturing going around. from artists and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, we were young and cocky, and I was ignorant. You know, a lot of stuff that I did back then, I would never, like, I'd be down to fight anybody back then. You know, it didn't matter who. You know, it was like,
that's hip hop, I guess.
Yeah, like, and fights were part of hip hop, just like in a country music. You know, a country bar brawls, and they break out. So
balls and square dancing.
But now I don't diddy bop ass hard. I still got a little bop to my walk, but you know, but it's a little bit, you know, less diddy and a little less bop. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you grow up. I'm 51 years old now. I gotta be civilized and show the youngsters I've been through what they've been through. I got high, I did drugs, I did all that stuff, and I never needed rehab to get my mind right, to go back to focusing on what's needed to be done in living life. You got to be strong-minded. Not everybody's built that way, but that's one thing I give to my father. And he's a strong-minded dude, and I don't like to disappoint him because of the way he raised me and the things he taught me as a kid and all the way into an adult, even when I didn't want to listen. So I want to be the same way when I channel my energy. So hip-hop has a powerful way of doing that. And again, you know, I'm a grown ass man now, you know, but I still rip that boom and that bap.
Premier, the infamous, one of the greatest rap albums ever recorded.
No question.
Did you hear it before it came out? And when you did hear it, what were your thoughts of that album?
No, they used to work at D&D even when they weren't doing stuff with me directly, and I was on WBLS at the time doing radio called The Thunderstorm with Geronimo, and they had already put out Shook Ones Part 1, and I saw them at D&D one day, and Havoc was like, yo, we gotta get you this new record for your show, man. It's called Shook Ones. And I was like, nah, I got that already. He said, no, this is part 2. You ain't heard this one. And I was like, word. I said, so come up Friday. Now, my show was from 8 to 10. And Funkmaster Flex was from 10 to midnight back then. This is, you know, when Shook Ones dropped. So Flex would hear a lot of my stuff, what I would play, from 8 to 10, you know, to where even, you know, we call each other, yo, what's that? What's that you playing? You know, I don't mind if he knows the record. We all from the same club. So I remember Havoc came up there with one of the reps from Loud Records, and we went into commercial, and I said, he said, what do you want to play? Can you play it next week? I was like, let me hear it now while we're on commercial break. I got a few minutes. And so I heard that $2 all the killers and $100 bills, the way the bass line came in with the drums, and the drums stopped, and then the bass line came out, and then he goes, you know, real niggas ain't got no feelings, and it dropped back, boom. Yeah, I was just like, yo, I'm playing this right out of commercial. I said, is it clean? He said, yep. But we took the curses out. I was like, all right, cool. And I came right out of commercial on that. I remember Flex called me like, what is that? I said, yo, new Mobb Deep. So I said, it's part 2, not part 1, because everybody already had part 1. And from there, man, you know, that record just immediately ran New York like it was the new anthem. You know, the lyrics, the beat, the attitude. That record to this day is still going. That's like an Annie Up. You know, it's like an Annie Up. It's like a Top Dylan from Audio 2. You know, it's like the Benjamins with Puff. You know, it's just certain records that have that impact. It's like Simon Says with Pharoah Monch, like the Rockwaller with Red and Meth. It's one of those records.
Basically clears the club floor.
100%, as it should.
And every song on the album, the beauty of it is, the reason why it's such a classic is every song on the record is banging like that.
Oh, yeah.
Put your fucking head through the window banging.
Yeah, and it sounds like a Mobb Deep album. Like Havoc was paying me beats even the day I picked him up to go to the studio with me in Long Island. We were going to Prodigy's crib in Long Island, and we hopped in the car, and Havoc was playing me beats back then on cassette. So, you know, I was like, oh, you do your own beats? He said, yeah, we do a lot of our own stuff. And I was like, all right. And he started playing me stuff. I was like, oh, man, you got a dope style. And he's one of my favorite producers ever.
Havoc?
Hell yeah.
Damn, nice, brother. I love that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've seen him work in the lab. He's different. He's definitely different.
I mean, the fact that he almost erased that track and, like, you know, from a production style,
Yeah.
all producers kind of have that perfection, that craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, just to think that a classic like that could have almost been, like, lost.
Yeah, he's dirty,
he lives
man.
forever.
He's very dirty. He is not clean.
So, yo, Primo, you said something earlier that I found awesome.
Totally awesome!
You're talking about playing Shook Ones Part 2. You and Flex having back-to-back shows, so you guys would be in communication with each other. Yo, where'd you get this record at? Where'd you get that? Who is this? What's going on? That must have been so fun and like almost like an inner competition between you and everyone else that had shows at the time.
Absolutely.
During that time, because it's like when I was a kid and I got that Nintendo game and nobody else had it, you're kind of like, yeah, I got the game, you don't.
Yep.
But you're like, I got the record, you don't. And with today and all the accessibility to music, that doesn't happen anymore because you got YouTube, you got this and that, downloads and iTunes and etc. So, I mean, is that part of the game that you missed today?
Absolutely. It's kind of still there, but the only difference is it's just amongst those that's into it that way. Like, me and Alchemist will still call me and whisper on the phone, like if somebody's listening to him, going, yo, I found a new digging spot. You want to go? And I'm like, yeah, what time? You know, like that's real talk. Like that's how we kick it. You know, like and it's because we still feel like, yo, we don't want nobody else to know about this digging spot. So keep it low. So whisper on the phone. You know, so amongst us, like a Marco Polo or even a Showbiz or even Large Pro. I'll go digging with, and then even Pete or DJ Scratch. But then there's
Or DJ 360.
Oh, what?
Or DJ 360, myself on this show, brother.
We would have to see
50,000 records deep, brother.
all right, you just made it by 1,000 records. You're good.
You mentioned earlier MC8, and if there was two collaborations I was waiting on since, I don't know, two decades, one of them was MC8, and today we finally see it come to fruition.
Yeah.
The other one was Nas. So you batting 500. Before you didn't even have a batting average until today. So I'm glad we all get to finally see the work between you and MC8. It's a great record. That and Jay-Z have been taking up all my time today. So I know that's been a long time in the making. And I mean, just explain to the people out there how did that even become you and 8? Obviously, you guys on two different sides.
What about Lil Hawk and Bird?
I know. I know you did.
Yeah. You're a true 8 fan. Then if you say Lil Hawk and Bird, that's the original. Back in the day, that's 89, 90. Counting TMW right there.
DJ Slip.
Yeah.
Unknown, DJ Slip.
Yeah, man. Shout to Slip and Unknown, man. Slip was doing all those beats. He's amazing. Hey, he has such a dope sound. And shout to DJ Mike T. I saw him at the video for Represent Like This. You know what I'm saying? He's all gray haired up and stuff. I was like, oh, shoot, that's Mike T. But me and Ace, I met him in 1989. We had a show in LA. That's when I started learning about the whole gang culture because they were Crips and I learned about Bloods, and then I went to the neighborhood. Dub C took me to his neighborhood, with this neighborhood Crip, and I learned, how that is serious with that blue and red, and especially back then, we're talking about 90, 89, 90, the culture was so different, like the newer gangbangers that are from their block, are more into the Fast and Furious type cars with the neon lights and all that, where our era, they're in the lowriders. The youngsters on into the lowriders the same way. So the culture's even changing in gangbanging, even though still the killing's going on and the wars. But for me to learn and see what their world is like and how dangerous it is. Especially where the neighborhoods look nice, but it's on and popping. And you've seen it in Menace to Society, you've seen it in Boys in the Hood. It's really like that, you know what I'm saying? And And
nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Exactly. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been lived in New York to see the craziest stuff too. I've seen killings, shootings, people die in front of me. I've seen it. So from coming from small town in Texas to learn this, to witnessing all this craziness in New York as well. It's still a different way of how they live life. With the gangs out there and how heavy it is, and how you can be across the street and you're another set that doesn't like each other just across the street. It's crazy. So the fact that we've been cool since then, and it was just a mutual respect for Gangstar, and then with A saying, yo, we're on the same distribution. We're on Orpheus, you're on Chrysalis. He said, I know we got some promo runs together. So we were doing promo together, going to the same radio stations together, because we had the same distributor with Chrysalis and SBK. We were doing promo with Vanilla Ice and Hammer, back then.
I was working at the label at the time, man. I have that videotape when you guys basically sent in to get signed.
Oh, wow.
So, 1290 6th Avenue, brother.
That's what's
I
up.
remember the days.
Yeah, man. So, so me and Ada and Doug C have been, and his brother, recipe to his brother Crazy to him. That's my boy, man. I sure miss him. My boy, man.
Crazy tunes hanging out the window. Fool, I got them bomb ass tapes. The Lynch Mob, Planet of the Apes. We have been in contact since. Even when '93 came around, 8 was on the Hard to Earn album on the skit I Chill. So leaving a message, a phone message. So him working with P Rock on Soul Survivor and stuff like that. So again, we go way back of being just friends aside from the music. Me doing the Death Wish remix and all that. So we've just been really, really intertwined as homies. So when it came down to the album, I had a Black Poet album that came out called The Black Friend that came out in 2009. It goes back to that. And we did a remix to the single Ain't Nothing Changed, and we wanted to do a West Coast remix, so we put Melee on it, Young Melee from the West Coast. He's signed to Dub C through Lynch Mob. So, through with Ice Cube's label. So, Crazy Tunes put me on the Melee. I was like, yo, this dude can rap. You're gonna hear more about Melee. Young Melee is the shit. He's the truth. And
Melee was actually the voice of Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly.
And ironically, our boy Guru was also in Grand Theft Auto.
He was 8-Ball, right?
Yep.
Yo, my man. Salvatore phoned ahead, but a job like this is going to need a lot of fireworks. I'll need $100,000 to cover expenses. But with me, you get a lot of bang for your buck. Come back, brother, when you have the money.
Yeah, it's 8-Ball. Yep, he's 8-Ball. Yep. So Melee is working on his album now, and I've been working closely with him because I'm such a fan. I'm doing it because I'm a fan of how he raps. That that whole West Coast accent, just everything. I'm just a big fan of how he spits rhymes and everything. So being a Crazy Tunes path, I told him that we're gonna still make sure that we hold him down and get him some work and get him some music popping. So you'll be hearing some more from him. He's on H album as well. And then other than that, we have we did the remix to Ain't Nothing Changed, and so we said let's put Melee on it as the new West Coast voice that you hear, and let's put 8 on it as the OG back in the day, legend voice that you hear. So when we did that, I asked A what was he working on, because he's been so long, and he said, man, I've just been doing stuff here and then, and I'm coaching football now, so I'm really into it. My son plays on the team, and I want to develop him, and that's my new thing. So I was like, all right, I'd like to hear some stuff, man, just because I'm a fan. I'd love to hear what you're working with. And he was like, yo, I got some stuff. He started sending me songs. I was like, yo, these are cool, but I said a lot of the mixes are just everywhere. Your voice is everywhere. Like who's mixing your stuff? He said, man, I don't really know how to mix. I know how to just record and write my stuff. And
I'm just kind of just doing what I'm doing. I was like, yo, if you want to send them to me, I'll start picking stuff that I think are strong, and maybe we can put together an EP or maybe an album later. And he's like, all right, I'll start sending you stuff. So he sent me like, 2 songs here, 2 songs there, 4 songs here, 4 songs there. Yo, I'm changing this one, scrapping that. Yo, me and Spice One gonna do this one, and that started to grow. We had like a strong 6 where I was like, yo, let's do an EP called Keep It Hood. So we did that, which is available, and Keep It Hood came out dope. I just mixed it down for him real quick, and then I think I scratched on a couple of songs, but so yeah, we dropped Keep It Hood. And then I said, well, let's gather up what's left and see if we can formulate an album. So again, it just started to just be bit by bit coming together. And, I'd be like, yo, man, this was strong. These are keepers. Someone would come in, I'm like, I'm not feeling that one. Let's keep this one. Let's get rid of that one. And then once it started to come together, I was like, yo, man, I think we got an album. Now let's start shaping it and getting features. Or do you want to just do it straight up? He said, nah, I have a list of people that I want to get on the album. I'm gonna start reaching out to him, and he gathered everybody up. The only one he didn't gather up was Bumpy Knuckles, because I called Bumpy and told him that he wanted to rock with him on the joint, and Bumpy said, don't make it no fast beat. He said, make it some drive, slow beat. I was like, all right, cool. So we did, for the OGs, and that's how that came about. Rage, he wanted to work with, they've already known each other for her being part of Snoop's camp and Death Row, and I just sent her the beat, and she did it at a homie's garage, cut the vocals, sent it to me, and she did Hard Cold and got busy, but everybody came to the table. Shout out to everybody on the album, Exhibit, Be Real, Corrupt, Rage, Bumpy Knuckles, Big Mike, J Star, the Outlaws, Dub C.
Fly hoes and chains and swanging things. Preem, I have a question for you. What artist do you, outside of Guru, obviously, what artist that you've worked with over the years do you feel that you connect with the best? Like, you guys get in the lab, you just get that beat laid down, the rhymes just come out like, just, who is it?
Guru.
Well, no, I said outside of Guru.
Oh.
Now you put him on the spot.
Right.
That's a hard question.
You said where the song just came out just like that?
Or you have the synergy with.
The connections there, the live
Connection
wires.
is solid. Like
1.21 gigawatts, like.
Right.
21 gigawatts!
M.O.P.
Word.
Yeah, we always had fun together, and they would right there on the spot, and just watching how they go, yo, right there, say, for real kid, and they'll go, okay, back it up, okay, go, yeah, for real kid, and they were so in sync, where they never, they write their backgrounds as part of their rhyme, but already know where they're gonna put it. So when they're spitting, he'll be like, I'm a Brownsville native, and I'm gonna. And and you better, yes, fire squad. You like what? First you think they're like, you think they're messing up, but it's like, nah, they're spacing it out. They already know that they want some group, spit right there in those gaps.
Ad-lib generals.
It's a party those nights, and you're taking care of business at the same time, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. And they're the mashup posse for real. I've been, back in my younger days, I've been to a lot of M.O.P. brawls, and
they can back it up.
Oh, absolutely, yes they can. I've witnessed it, and I survived it. So I'm glad I survived all that stuff, man. I remember when the drama used to pop up with them, they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, drama, so
good for it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm like, dude, we really gotta fight these dudes, so but I threw down a little once or twice or 3 or 4 times myself, but I'm like I said, at 51, my bones hurt.
So speaking of M.O.P., I know you've been touring, so you probably haven't had a chance to check out our 6-hour tribute to you. We've had a lot of the artists you work with give us, props, customized drops, everything. Real supportive. Little Fame was one of them. Crumb Snatcher, Bumpy Knuckles, Big Shug, Little Dap, AZ, Cormega. Everybody had something great to say about you. So I know once you settled down, you were touring. Hopefully, you're a humble dude, and it's probably a little weird to listen to your own stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Tribute.
Yeah, no, I like listening to what somebody else does. I just don't listen to my own music once I do it. When I get to a certain point, I just don't listen to my own music. When it's brand new, I listen to it for a few weeks, maybe a month or two, and then after that, I don't listen anymore.
I think you just appreciate the construction of it. It's really the timeline, the way we kind of interwoven, these interviews and these drops and these,
Send it to me. Send it to me where I can download it.
All right, I'll text you and get your information as far as the email, or also send it to Jeff.
I'll have Jeff give you my direct email, and I'll add y'all to my email. Do y'all play dirty or clean on your show?
Always dirty.
Okay. Then I need to send you the 8 albums so you can start getting busy.
Well, you know what? Ironically, I reached out to 8 earlier today. We definitely would like to get him on, and I'm a big fan of 8. We Come Strapped is, to me, a classic album. So, and even the stuff he did with Compton's Most Wanted. So it's awesome to see you guys really connect after all these years and finally make that album happen. I know a lot of people always are eagerly waiting for the next Primo album. So can you give us a little tidbit of what may be in store, either 2017 or 2018?
Yeah, we just finished this singer-songwriter. I have 2 labels. I have Year Round for more of my street stuff and doing just my gutter hip-hop like with 8. And the NYG's album's coming. I'm just mixing that down right now. We're actually like 2 songs away from really officially completing it. But I'm just pretty much just laying all my scratch and hooks and stuff on all the songs that they already cut vocals to. So that album is, that's an all-premiere produced album. So I'm really excited about the NYG's album coming out. And then Tori Wolf is a new singer-songwriter from Long Island. She's very alternative, left field type of an artist that I started a label with my manager. It's called TTT, which stands for To The Top. And that label is to house just really any and everything from rock to new wave to pop to maybe a couple of rap records if they're like singles. I might we've been doing just like singles. Like I dropped a Miguel record, To Loving You, that was a single. A record with Cherub that's out called My Space Baby, that's a single. So we do all kinds of just little things that are not the norm of labels through TTT, but the first album that'll be coming out will be Tori Wolf, and it's called Flow Riot. Me and the legendary King of Chill supervised the project. He produced
King of Chill.
Yeah, he produced some of the illest songs on there. I did the majority of the album. I produced the majority of it, and we also even got Mike Zombie on one track, and we got A-Rap Music on a track, and the rest was just done by me and King of Chill. So it's a really dope album. Flow Riot will be coming in this year in September. We're just wrapping up the Prom 2 album. I went to Detroit to finish it with Royce. We did half in New York at my studio. We just did the other half at Royce's new studio called Heaven.
Everything you just mentioned, we actually played on the tribute. Tori's dope. She reminds me of a little bit like Portishead.
Yeah.
We played the joint Dilated and Rhapsody. So we're big fans. We've done 6 hours on you. We know everything. I know that you haven't had real food in 3 days. How are you doing with that?
Oh yeah, man. The juice cleansing. Yeah. The first day I was playing around with my son and we were wrestling, and he's 6 years old. He just landed on my stomach, and I threw up like 4 times, and I was I had a headache. I was lightheaded, and I just felt a mess. I still drank them, and just refilled myself, and my body took to it after that. I don't know what it was that threw me off. Maybe it was just a shock of me doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I hurled 4 times, and then or twice or 2 occasions, but a double throw. You know what I'm saying? So, but basically after that, I went on and carried out the rest of the. They're all numbered 1 through 6. To do them every 2 hours, and so I got sick on the first 2, but after that I still carried out the whole thing, knocked it out, and I'm on day 3. I'm doing it for
for a week, and then from there I'll start to train again. I'm already going to the gym to do cardio and all that stuff just to shake off some layers. But I'm gonna go back to my weights and all that stuff. I used to train anyway. I played sports really in my younger days and all that stuff, so I know what to do. And then one of my homies from the Gangstar Foundation, Vic Black, he's a nutrition expert, and he's been making my meals 5 meals a day, already pre-made, so that when I get to the lab, I have healthier meals than the stuff we usually go eat. And then from there, I'm just going to be more conscious of how I put stuff into my body. At 51, you see, it don't take the same way, so you want to definitely make sure the food is providing the proper energy for you to keep carrying on. And I'm a very energetic dude. I can put in crazy hours in the studio, and I can outlast pretty much anybody, when it comes to the stamina side. So, but even though it's not a race anymore to see who got the most stamina, it's still good to make sure you take care of your body a lot more. So I'm very focused, and I'll be finished at the end of the weekend, right before the 4th of July, and then I'm gonna, I'm gonna transform. So however you see me now, take a pic, because I'm about to rip up. But don't worry, when I get in very good shape, I'm not gonna start wearing body shirts and
biker shorts.
Yeah, and then biker shorts and all that. I'm no spandex. I'll still be rocking my jeans a little loose, so we'll be okay.
You talked about some sports, and this is a sports question because I'm sure everybody talks to you about hip hop. This is what I want to know.
Okay.
You're from Houston.
Yep.
You live in New York.
No.
I've always wanted to know this. Were you conflicted in like '94 when the Knicks played the Rockets in the finals?
No. I'm a Rockets. I'm Houston everything. Even when I moved to New York, I'm Houston everything. Houston Rockets, Houston Astros, Houston Oilers. I'm Houston Oilers. Yeah, but before him, Dan Pastorini and Kenny Stabler and Merle Campbell and them came later. The same thing. Warren Moon came way later, but I go Billy White, Billy Johnson. That era. So, as a kid, you can imagine how sad I was when they moved to Tennessee, because they changed the mascot to the Titans. It used to be the Tennessee Oilers. They're the Titans, so so as far as being torn, I was torn about having to be a Texans fan versus me being a Titans fan. So I support the Texans now. It took me a minute, because they're an expansion team, and I didn't grow up with an expansion team. I grew up with a legacy, so it hurt a lot as a fan. But I've been Houston everything, and I support the Yankees big time, because my grandfather was into them, and I love the Yankees based off of that, and for other reasons, But with Houston, I've been a Rockets fan, so yeah, I was never torn with the Knicks, and I'm a Knicks fan from the UN days, and the good Knicks, even before Sprewell came, before LJ came, I was into that Knicks era, and when LJ came and Sprewell, it just made it even better, but yeah, Houston.
I'll tell you what, man, you must be eating up this baseball season because the fucking Astros are killing it.
Yeah, man, especially when they did that 100 run. This is a good year. I mean, they haven't been to the World Series in so many years. So hopefully they can get back to it this year. The Yankees have been really struggling. So.
Right.
The Astros, I'm actually going to a game. I'm taking my son down to see my family in a couple of weeks. So,
there you go.
McCann left the Yankees and went to Houston, and so did Carlos Beltran. So
Beltran. Yeah.
So Carlos is a good friend of Derek Jeter. And we know each other well just through their family. So he is going to hook us up with some good seats to go see them. I'm going to take my son to see the game.
The last 5 minutes of this conversation has been great, and thank you for sharing all this with us, because it really shows how DJ Premier out there to the world, people look up to you and admire your catalog and celebrate your work as a DJ. But the stories you mentioned, your son and sports and having admiration for this and talking about your family, and I want to bring it back to Prodigy real quick, right? And you said something earlier about how you spoke with his wife.
I didn't speak to her. I didn't speak to her. She sent the text. She sent the text to get me to come to the viewing yesterday morning. But obviously, like I said, I couldn't make it. But she sent the word out to me.
But see, my whole angle here though is how everyone sees you all as artists. They think of your music. I think Prodigy. I immediately think the infamous Shook Ones, Mobb Deep, Havoc, right? But behind that, there's a family man with children, with a wife, and it's great to know that as a hip hop community, that you all build and are there for the family. So
and you're lifelong friends and brothers.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I do the same thing with Guru's family now. That's why, you can't let the press and rumors about our breakup and all that stuff even factor in unless you get it from the actual people themselves, and Guru's not here to defend it. So last thing I'm going to do is rely on our legacy and me being there, because there's no need to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we fought many a times. I mean, talking about throwing punches, everything. We're the first rap group to fight each other. Then we need to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for
right.
for that, because
brothers fight.
Yeah, I mean, we fought, and I always say, if we fought and couldn't stand each other, how in the hell could we make that many albums consistently and enjoying it? You know what I'm saying? Like every album we did, we were like happy kids. Like, yo, wait till they hear this album. Oh man, wait till they hear this single. And we always were consistent with our singles, our videos, and our album covers. Everything. We were always involved in every bit of our art, which is why it matched who we were. So that's why I'm like, I saw a guy on YouTube talking about we broke up from stolen money and all this stuff. I'm like, why would they need to steal money when we're both successful? It's like that don't even add up. Like it's like you know what I mean? Like I'm like, where did he get this crazy shit from? But you know what? And then like I've had my friends that's like, man, you should get that taken down. It's like, take it down for what? Karma always attacks the virus, and whoever that virus is, and they know who they are, they get attacked. But all you gotta do is keep on pushing. And how I look sitting there trying to take down a whole bunch of things off of social media, when if it's true, if it's true, that's a different story. When it's not true, just let it live. It dies eventually. My main thing is, I've been taking care of Guru's son since the day he died, making sure that his family and everybody is getting money. He's going to nice schools. We split everything 50-50, so anything that's gangster oriented, I make sure everything, half goes to the family and to the Hill family and to his son and his son's mother. So they love me to death. They see all this, everything's legit. Every T is crossed, every I is dotted, and we, like I said, I want to be able to sleep at night anyway, so I wouldn't feel right if I wasn't doing it that way. Shout out to his whole family, man. They're a great family. His mom just passed a few months ago, so rest in peace to Miss Elam, Miss Barbara Elam. She and my mom used to write letters to each other, and it was cool even seeing them be pen pals. These are things that only I would know and only family would know, so. But shout out to his nephew Justin and his other nephew Denzel, and his sister Trish. I love his sister Trish just so much for just not only being a soldier through all the drama that was going on with old dude. It just she has just thick skin. She doesn't let anything tear her apart, and she's a soldier, man. I really been a guru sister Trish, and she's official. She's just super official. So shout out to the Guru's son KC. He's gonna be nearing 17 years of age soon, and he looks just like his dad. Same jawbone, same face, just taller. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. We're making sure he's good and that his son's mother's good, and we all get along so so well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad to be in their lives, still making sure that the legacy continues and that it's being done right.
Hey, Preem, they don't call it blood, sweat, and tears for nothing, you know?
Goddamn right.
Well, look, I can't thank you enough. I know this was a struggle to get you, and you've been very busy. You're a stand-up dude. I love what you're doing for Keith's family. I remember what you said about Mar Brown. Mar was my dude.
Oh, man. He was part of our success, man.
He was a real dope dude. I mean,
yeah.
I remember the Virgin days. And so my point is this, you know, besides the music, you know, strip you aside, you're a good person. And I want, you know, I hope what we achieved is maybe a different side of Premier. I mean, unfortunately, we got you under different circumstances. We're talking about P today and whatnot. But, you know, I really appreciate, you know, I think all of us, we haven't been this excited to talk to somebody. Ricky Henderson and you were the two idols I had growing up.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I just put a post, bucket list. This is bucket list.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it, man. And you know what? My favorite years are probably 94, 95, and it's because of you. I mean, your 94, 95, 96 was the trifecta. I don't think anyone's ever had those kind of years ever. And I just want to say thank you for it.
I appreciate it, bro. Word. And much love back to you. And we, like I said, we got more coming. NYG, Tory Wolf, Prime 2, The Breaks got another season, so I'm gonna be, you know, working on that. And then we're gonna be dropping some more singles on TTT. God, I'm trying to convince Scarface to let me drop this fucking record, man. So, come on, Face, let me get this record. I got you on there, you know. It's a record that he wanted me to do when he dropped his last album, and he gave me an acapella. I put a beat to it, and it didn't make the album, but I was like, let's just throw it out. I mean, you know, B.B. King says, don't harbor the music, put it out, you know. So, but I know Face wants to do a project. I think he wants to do like an EP or something like that, and I'm down to do even that because, you know, Face is guaranteed lyrics and straight preaching the truth to the streets, man. He keeps it so good, you know, so. Yeah, much love, fellas. I'll do the drops. Yo, check it out, y'all. This is DJ Premier. You're live and direct through the speaker because that's my voice coming through the speaker. You heard? And you're checking out the Take It Personal show. Don't get it twisted. One love. Gangstar forever. Gangstar for life. One.